lower scoring game. Baltimore didn't feel quite as, in control of that game, but it just boils down to missed opportunities. I think the moment was too big for Zay Flowers, obviously. I mean, that taunting penalty was massive. Worst rule in football strikes. I mean, it was rough. And honestly, like, people are going to fault Lamar for this. And, I'm expecting Mark to have some choice words about Lamar, but really, like, I thought Lamar played fantastic. And I think that he actually tried to be the pocket passer that everybody was criticizing him for not being. And to some degree, I wanted him to let loose and try to run a little bit more when the game started to get away from him, because I don't think they had an answer for that necessarily. And the times where Lamar did need to step up and make a big pass, he made them. Like that pass when he almost got sacked towards the end of the second half there was ridiculous. That was one of the most insane passes I've ever seen a quarterback make in my entire life. So I'm definitely not out Lamar. I'm not out on this Ravens team for next year either. And I think this game was theirs to lose. And sure enough, they found a way to lose it. And again, similar fashion where it's like, man, like, you just let too many moments get away from you. KC looked like they had been there 1,000 times before, and Baltimore looked like they were a deer in headlights.
Lamar did not play MVP football. Lamar had two incredible plays. The touchdown that you referred to where he broke the tackles, found Zay Flowers, amazing play. One of the best plays you'll see. It'll be on Aliens of the Week this week. Yeah, definitely check that out. He caught his own pass, which was pretty crazy too, and got like 15 yards after that. Flashy, amazing plays, Lamar type things, right? He's going to do things like that no other human can do because he's a very special player. Problem is he's not a championship winner. He can't be. He has flaws in his games. When he sees a defense like Kansas City presented, and I told you Spags is going to confuse him and give him different looks. He had one interception, one that should have been intercepted that went through a linebacker's hand that had a club on it. Otherwise, it would have been picked. Literally threw it right to him. And then he had a fumble. You turn the ball over twice, should have been 3 times in an AFC Championship game when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to win the game. Ask anybody. You're just not going to win that game.
Defense is playing lights out too.
Casey's defense is great. Kansas City's defense is great. Has been all year. Yeah. And if you tell somebody, I mean, John, if you just pretend that you weren't on the Ravens from the beginning of the year all the way to this point, and I give credit to you, they did much better than I ever thought they would. But if I was just like, hey, Patrick Mahomes is going to have a number 2 ranked defense all year long.
Right.
What do you think's going to happen? Like, people act like that take was crazy. That take wasn't crazy. It was just the timing of it. The Chiefs just had a rough patch, and they didn't ever really fully hit their groove. A little Super Bowl hangover that kind of dragged into the postseason. But when the push comes to shove and you need to win a game, look to Travis Kelce, look to Patrick Mahomes, look to Andy Reid, and they'll find the other guys. They'll put the other puzzle pieces together, like the Rashee Rices and the Pachecos, and every once in a while you see, a play made by like a tight end like Gray or somebody, right? Like, the Chiefs are just going to find ways to win games, and Patrick Mahomes played out of his mind. I mean, against the number 1 defense in the NFL.
Almost a perfect completion percentage in the first half. Like,
he came out
he was like 16 for 17.
Firing. I mean, you watched the first series, you knew. I mean, everybody knew. I was about to text John. I didn't want to jinx myself, but I was about to text John, just be like, dude, you fucked up and you know it. Like, John's grandpa is out there trying to make side bets with me on the Ravens, Chiefs. Like, I would have happily taken it had I not already put so much money on it myself through the betting apps and stuff. But like,
yeah, Practice Squad Pod's biggest hater is my grandfather. So
yeah, biggest hater of me specifically.
right.
He hates my takes.
He can't handle Mark's.
You can't argue 46 and 26. Listen,
26 It's hard to argue against. Look, I think I agree with you and on a lot of that. I agree that Lamar, some of the easy play, some of the most ridiculous, impossible, alien-like plays Lamar was making, and then like the very human, rudimentary stuff I felt like Lamar was falling short on. Agreed on the turnovers and the turnover-worthy plays. And then, this did end up becoming a defensive battle, and those turnover-worthy plays end up costing, Baltimore from at least tying it up or something in that vein.
The karma also, Zay Flowers, John. Instant karma. Yeah, I loved it. The taunt was... I mean, everyone, you can bitch about it if you want, but there's taunting and then there's taunting. Like, that was like a very clear... When you throw the ball at someone who's still on the ground, after you've already shoved them... Taunt, flag's coming. Like, you just can't make that mistake. The Ravens obviously had a lot of personal fouls the whole game. That one was the worst. And then instantly, football gods gave him karma, fumbling as he crosses the goal line. That just is so killer. I mean, to drive all the way down the field after a huge play like that.
In a defensive game like this, 100%, that just absolutely crushes you.